Welcome to the 10th edition of ESB Outspoken on Facebook Live with Angela and Richard Schell.
Hi, how are you guys doing? Today we're actually in our new office space. It's fantastic. We love it, and much increased size space, and it is fantastic. We're actually in our conference room at the new space, and I will tell you, you guys will absolutely love it. Come see us whenever you want to.
Come see us. We would love that.
We would love it, but let's get to the question. We have a question from Ray, right, Ange?
Right. Ray in Florida sent this in. We get this often. I'm ready to get on the speaking circuit and need to know how to set my fee. Do you have any advice for me?
It's a great question, absolutely a great question. You had mentioned earlier about, when we first got the question in, you had talked about how we've gotten a lot of questions about fees.
We get a lot of questions about fees and all types of fees. So I think it's good if we address this question along with a few others.
Absolutely. So I'll start with, first of all, when you set your fee, if you make sure that you have everything in place, the video, the website, all those things, you've got your stuff in place, really $5,000 needs to be your minimum fee that you start out with. However, not everybody needs to fit into that $5,000 area. Some people might be a little more famous than others. They may have written a best-selling book. Maybe they're currently on a big television show, or they had a political career before that. All those things can impact your starting spot. So maybe you might start at 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, but 5 minimum is where you need to start.
I agree. And then when you take it to the next step, when is it time to up your fee, change your fee? And I think the things that you want to look at before you change your fee is, number one, your calendar. Really look at your calendar. If you're doing as many engagements as you want to do in a year, or if the demand is so high that you can't handle it, that is the best indicator. Some other things, maybe if you've written a book that's on a bestseller list, if you've got a lot of media interviews, if you're getting a lot of attention, if you've done a TV show, if you've got a TED Talk that's gone viral, anything like that where all of a sudden you're getting a lot of attention and people are coming to you with more requests for speaking, great indicator of it's time to look at changing that and maybe increasing it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But when you increase your fee, be so very careful. And let me use a good example. Say your fee right now is $15,000. You want to increase it to 20. Well, if you move from 15 to 20, you may actually be going into a new category. When you go into a new category, that could be a problem. Let's think about it this way. If you look at Speaker Bureau sites, there are different categories like 10 to 20,000, 20 to 30, 30 to 50, and you might be moving from the 10 to 20 to the 20 to 30, which means now you're competing against $25,000 and $30,000 speakers. Be honest with yourself. If you're not comparing favorably with these people or don't feel comfortable competing against them, then maybe you need to take a small step up. Maybe don't go all the way to 20, but just go to 18 or 18.5. But the key thing is, be so careful in your increases. Tell them a little more about that, Ange.
We are really big on taking small increases because we've seen this backfire when people have all of a sudden increased their fees. We've seen people that have taken $10,000 jumps because they just felt like they were overwhelmed. Well, all of a sudden, the demand dried up. So even if you think, well, I'll just increase it 25%, you may not be decreasing the number of events by 25%. All of a sudden, you may just have the bottom fall out.
Yeah, it could go to zero.
It could go to zero. I mean, we have seen these things happen where all of a sudden the demand has dried up. So you have to be so careful, because if you all of a sudden realize that the fee is too high, it's difficult to go backwards, because all of a sudden you've got to go back to the bureaus or back to the clients and say, okay, now I've decided that I'm going to lower my fee. Well, then they're going to have the perceived idea that you're maybe not as good as they thought. So that's tough. It's a tough place to be. So if you go in small increments and test the waters, you don't run into that. If you have questions, you're welcome to call us, email us.
Absolutely.
We'll help you through. We have worked with speakers for 26 years on how to set their fees, when to increase their fees, and we get this question daily. So please call us before you make a big decision on your fee and let us walk through it with you, and we'll give you some of the ups and downs on this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I will tell you, if you listen to our advice and you're careful about your fees, everything will work out great. You'll have a great time speaking, and you be outspoken. To get more tips and see more videos, you can click on the logo in the corner and subscribe to our YouTube channel.